Okay, look, I didn't put a ton of time into this presentation, uh, but I assert that I'm like mostly on point with this. Um, the TLDR might be share Unity Unity packages instead of complete CS projects. I don't know, but anyway, what are the implications of executing a binary? Do we even know what that term means? I mean, it's like I'm going to download .exe from pornsite.com and run it on my machine, right? No, thank you. It's going to do anything from upload my entire documents folder to the cloud, or encrypt my hard disk, or share my SSH private key, whatever. So don't execute random binaries. And my assertion is that building some randos Unity project, this is not limited to Unity, it's the case for a .NET project as well, is not a good idea. This is kind of the TLDR of the sub TLDR. CS project has a text MS build script. It can execute random code. It can run shell commands, as well as, I believe, any arbitrary DLL. This is an example of running a shell command. But this is admittedly GPT generated, but this is an example of running an arbitrary DLL. Um, it's sort of interesting. Is this a 0-day? Hell no. I mean, everybody knows this in the .NET world, so I don't think I'm sharing anything particularly dangerous. I would say if you don't know this, that's the problem, not somebody knowing how to do this. Because if they could write a DLL, they damn well know how to configure an MS build project. That's just my neuroses around being responsible. Macs seem to control access to for binaries to random folders. So if you run something and it tries to open something, like file open something in a sensitive folder, desktop documents, iCloud, etc., you're going to get a prompt. At least today. Then I left this unnecessary comment about Apple's integrity, which you can comment on later in the comments, whatever. My intention is to like give this talk as a lightning talk somewhere, so this is really a first draft. I'm just putting it out here just because, you know, uh, you know, it's Juneteenth, so enslaved to productivity in the YouTube algorithm or whatever. I mean, Juneteenth is interesting, actually. The Emancipation Proclamation was an executive order, and it was followed up by the 13th Amendment, which was ratified, so it was codified into law. I believe Juneteenth essentially celebrates the ratification of the law, although there's a specific detail about when Texas first issued I guess, a state level proclamation of emancipation. I don't know the history of enslaved people in Texas. I probably should. But whatever you're doing to honor Juneteenth, I'm interested to know about it. That's also an appropriate topic of discussion in the comments. Okay, yeah, so backing up a bit again, you can grep for obviously curl in this example. You can grep for wget. You can grep for secure copy. It's not going to get you all the way to rock solid security. I kind of went over this already. I keep putting these notes in here. Check me. I'm kind of new to the whole MS Unity security world. Appreciate any constructive feedback. I'm not looking for validation. If there is any valid criticism, constructive criticism, I'm totally open to it. Mitigation, virtual machine, sure. Some kind of robust, probably paid, off-the-shelf security scanning that can introspect into DLLs. I don't even know if that's a thing. And then this final assertion, which I made at the outset, which is share the Unity package, not the whole CS project. Can you open a local file in a C# script in Unity? Probably. Um, that's maybe a point for expanding this talk a little bit. I actually don't know the answer to that. I probably should. And I probably shouldn't post this until I figure that out. But I figure this is enough information for one lightning talk. CS files are plain text. It would be more obvious than in a DLL if someone was doing something nefarious. There can be a lot of C# in large projects. I don't know how. It probably depends on the platform. Like on Android, if you're building for Quest, I mean, probably you don't have your financials on your Quest headset, so it doesn't matter. If you're targeting Mac OS or Windows, probably it's open season on reading your private stuff and curling it up to the cloud or encrypting it or whatever. That's a slight at Unity sandboxing that they may not deserve, but just my instinct is that that's probably the case with respect, again, not to build scripts, but to the actual source code of a project.